What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing something a little bit different because normally I'm talking about gaming news, but not this week. I went to the Southeast Game Exchange. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, of which I love the design. Metal Gear was the theme this year. Big fan of that. But if you haven't heard of the Southeast Game Exchange, this is one of the biggest gaming events in the country. People fly in from all over the United States, drive in, whatever form of transportation you might have, to buy, sell, and trade video games. But it's not all just about the buying and selling and trading. They've got an incredible lineup of meet and greets. We met Nolan North, the voice of Nathan Drake, the voice of Desmond Miles. This dude is in some incredible games, and he is just as incredible of a person. But beyond doing this pickups video, which I did buy some stuff, we'll get to that in a minute, I want to do more content like this on the channel that kind of captures this moment in gaming history, because Siege 2024 is gone. This Southeast Game Exchange will never happen again. Events that happen every single day will never happen again. And I feel like a lot of people, even though we're surrounded by smartphones, just aren't recording stuff. We'll snap a pic here and there, but so many of these moments are just kind of lost to time. Destiny 2: The Final Shape came out a couple of months ago, and everybody was talking about how this is kind of the end of the Destiny story that started 10 years ago. And so looking back, I had footage of the midnight release of the original Destiny. And it was fun for me to go back and look at that for myself because I was there with my friends when I was in high school, and now I'm 27. And having that footage was something that was really special. And so now looking back on what I've done over the last 5-10 years, I don't really have too many moments like that. So you'll see more of this kind of thing if there's an event that's coming up, whether it's small or large, or if there's a midnight release that's happening, or an event that I'm invited to maybe. I'll take the camera, shoot some stuff, just kind of capture that moment and share it with you guys, but also kind of keep it for my own nostalgic record. If you like that kind of thing, let me know, because I'm just testing some stuff out. So it could be horrible, but hey, you'll be along for the ride either way. Thanks. But when it comes to Southeast Game Exchange, the big draw are the vendors. Big stores, small stores, independent dudes that just have a ton of stuff. Anybody can rent a booth and sell things, and you will find just about anything, ranging from giant piles of disc-only games that you can probably get 5 for $10, all the way to a Rockstar Starfield mini fridge that was given away as part of a sweepstakes. I talked to the dude and said, "Hey, where'd you get that?" He said, "Well, somebody came and traded it in at the store. The only thing I've ever won is a Taco Bell PlayStation Vita." I would love to see that. That's pretty cool. I saw a sealed Titanfall Collector's Edition. I saw a PlayStation 18-wheeler mini truck toy. I saw this dude that had an entire display set up like a museum of Nintendo World Championship merch. He had like 5 different t-shirts, tons of memorabilia, newspaper clippings, the whole works. I mean, this guy loved a Nintendo World Championship. And that's why I love Southeast Game Exchange, is because not only do you have the chance to buy stuff that you might be looking for, you can also just meet and greet tons of awesome people that love the same things you do. They also had this entire section of arcade games that were set to free play, so you could just walk up and play, ranging from stuff that was modern to like the mid-2000s, all the way back to very old stuff. This Burger Time arcade cabinet was there. There was Star Wars pinball that this dude was wearing out. It was just an awesome thing to see people gathering, celebrating games, genuinely loving their time there. And then you know me, big Halo guy, as you can tell from the shelving around me, and they had the Halo Master Chief World Championships. It was a Halo 2 tournament that was going on, and it was just cool to kind of be in that moment after being at HCS last year. This was kind of a smaller grassroots kind of tournament, but you still love to see it. But you know I had to get some pickups, and I didn't do anything crazy this year. I wasn't looking for anything that was super high dollar, but I did get some stuff that I'm super excited to have in the collection. First up, we've got Metroid Prime Remastered, and this is one that I've had on my wish list for a while, and if you're looking at the art being like, why does it look like that? You might not know, the case is actually reversible, so the original art is there on the inside, and then you can choose what you want on the outside, and I liked the alternative cover a little bit more. But this is one that I've never actually played, whether it's the original or this remastered version. I just never got around to playing Metroid Prime. I didn't have a GameCube back in the day. I was a PlayStation 2 kid. And so hearing Metroid Prime 4 is officially on the way and seeing how good that looks, I had to find a copy of Metroid Prime Remastered and kind of put it through the paces. Now I might get grilled for this, but the only Nintendo Switch that I have and that I play all of my Nintendo games on is the Nintendo Switch Lite. And I love the color of this one, I love the feel of it. It kind of reminds me of like a Game Boy Micro almost. It's a very small handheld, but it's super portable, the battery life is fine. I've loved my time with this one, and I don't play a ton of Nintendo games. So I've had an OLED, I've had 2 of the original model of the Nintendo Switch, but I just don't spend enough time to warrant keeping them, so I sold those through the years and I kept the Nintendo Switch Lite. And I'm so glad that I did, because I love playing Metroid on this thing. It feels really good, it looks really good, it's the perfect little couch game. And so, having not played Metroid Prime Remastered, I'm excited to play through it all the way on the Nintendo Switch Lite. And you can see some gameplay here. It runs incredibly well. As everybody's already said, Retro Studios did a fantastic job with this one, and I picked it up for $30. So, right around the price that you can get it at on sale digitally. But for a physical copy, I can't complain. That's an awesome price. Next up, we've got Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. And this is one that I've been wanting for a couple of years now. I believe this dropped in 2021. And you had the Insane trilogy as well. Crash has been on kind of a comeback streak lately. We don't talk about Crash Team Rumble. Don't worry about that one. But Crash Bandicoot 4 is a generally well-received Crash Bandicoot game, and it's one that I never played. Now, I did get it on Xbox because I was just going through some games, and I found this one. It was sealed when I got it. Obviously, I opened it up because I'm going to play it, but it was sealed for $20. And so even looking at the digital sales, you can't really get it at that price on a normal basis, and again, to have the physical version on the shelf, I didn't want to pass it up for $20, and I like supporting the small businesses that go to Siege, so I had to get this one. Now, if you do want to play this game, it's probably coming to Game Pass because Activision Blizzard is now owned by Xbox, so just know that going in if you want to go out and buy a physical copy. I don't want you spending $30 if you have a Game Pass membership, unless you're like me and you just wanted the physical copy, because I love the box art, it really pops. And again, when you're at Southeast Game Exchange, live a little, why not? But these are the only two games that I actually bought, because I'm working my way through my backlog right now. I'm trying to be very intentional of not wasting money on games just to have them sit in a stack. I mean, I could literally play the next 5 years without buying anything and still have games to play because of Game Pass, because of things that I bought on sale. The list just keeps on going. So I didn't want to add too many games to the list, so these were the only two game pickups, but I did get some other stuff. I love late 90s nostalgia pieces, and so when I saw this December 1997 GamePro, I had to pick it up. It immediately caught my eye because they don't make them like this anymore. The cover just pops, and then every page is just packed with style. They chose specific fonts during that time that you just don't see anymore. These were full color pages, and I love the advertisements. One of the things that caught my eye about this one is that it has this Tiger handheld insert, and this is for thegame.com. And so back in the day, Tiger was known for these $10 to $15 little plastic games you could buy at Target or Walmart. They weren't anything crazy, but with this was their attempt to kind of really enter the handheld space. It failed horrifically, but having that captured in an ad is just another example of this magazine being a time capsule of what it would have been like to be into gaming in 1997. The coolest thing about this magazine is that it's got an entire Sonic & Knuckles Rip Out 1998 poster. Now, of course, I'm not going to rip it out of the magazine, but I love the fact that this is still in here, and you can see the font choices, the style. It captures the moment in time so holistically, and so having stuff like this in the collection is stuff that I'll always love. Throw it on a coffee table, keep it on a shelf. You just take it out, open it up, and you're immediately teleported back to the late 90s. The final two pickups that I've got are posters, and I'm really into wall art and advertisements. In fact, my entire office is pretty much completely covered in either wall art for games or advertisements from a specific era, like this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 cardboard standee, or the Crackdown standee that I've got with the advertisement for Halo 3. I love having that kind of stuff because, again, super into that nostalgic retail kind of vibe. But I love digging through even the more recent GameStop posters because you never know what you're going to find. And so I found two that I could not go without. Cyberpunk 2077. This game has been on quite the journey. I mean, it came out and it got pretty good reviews, but then people realized it had a ton of bugs, and it really wasn't fixed until Phantom Liberty came out in a lot of ways. And so it's had tons of updates, very good game now, but the cool thing about this poster is that it's got the wrong street date on it. This was the original release date for Cyberpunk 2077, and so after it got delayed, this was in a GameStop, and managers or employees were supposed to go cover up that old date, put the new date over it, or just generally cover it, so people weren't confused as to when the game was actually coming out. This one never made it that far. It was either folded up in the back of the store or was just never updated, and so technically it's kind of like a misprint. And I love having that kind of stuff because, again, it captures that moment in time. Plus, it's huge, and it looks great next to this Diablo poster, so I had to put it behind the door when I'm on calls or enjoying recording a video or something like that. This is something I can look at and really appreciate. And the final pickup is Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, and this is one of those darling Metroidvanias that kind of blew up over the last 10 years. years, which is crazy to say because Shovel Knight is literally celebrating its 10th anniversary. But I was digging through the stack and I found this one, and the colors just pop. Yacht Club always nails it when it comes to the design of not only the game itself with some awesome pixel art, but the look of the box art and just the vibe of the game. I saw this and I had to have this because I had a frame that already fit it. I had a Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition poster that I had up because I love Red Faction, but this was one that I just had to have because it's such a cool piece to look at. And again, I'm really into retail advertisements, so for some people having the GameStop ad at the bottom might ruin it. For me, this kind of makes the whole thing. And that's my Southeast Game Exchange haul. Did not spend a ton of money, didn't add a ton to the backlog, but I got some awesome stuff that I'm super happy to have in the collection, and beyond that, it's just a fun event to go to. Because I just love being around people that have that same shared passion for everything gaming. If you love that kind of stuff, I can't recommend Southeast Game Exchange enough. This year's show was a 2-day event, but next year they've already confirmed it's going to be a 3-day show, and I'm going to try to go earlier to try and find some of those rare pickups, maybe get a bigger list, and go down and get some stuff that might have gotten snagged up at the very beginning. I'm looking for a Halo 2 Collector's Edition Steelbook, which isn't super hard to find, but I want one in good condition, so I'm still hunting around for that kind of thing and have plenty of things that are still on the list, and as we all know, the list will continue to grow. But let me know down below, what do you think about my Siege pickups this year? What would you have on your list? Have you ever been, and would you want to go next year? But if you're new here, you like what you see and what you hear, hit that subscribe button down below for videos like this whenever there's an event. I talk about gaming news every week, and I post gaming news shorts throughout the week to keep you in the loop. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.